John MacLean travels to Russia when his estranged son Jack is accused of murder.
Jack!
Dad?
After a daring courtroom escape, he discovers Jack is a CIA operative.
The 007 of Plainfield, New Jersey.
Together, they fight to take down a corrupt Russian politician in A Good Day to Die Hard.
Hi, my name is Leah.
I'm Salim.
And I'm Sean, and today is A Good Day to Die Hard, the fifth installment of the Die Hard franchise. So yippee-ki-yay, we've all just seen it. Who wants to start?
I will go. I have been a fan for a very long time. I think the first movie is a perfect example of action done right. It's got comedy, it's got tension, it's great. Whereas I feel like the fifth one, it has none of that. He's Superman. He's indestructible. Whereas the first movie, he was having to walk through glass. He's very human.
No, there's no fragility. I mean, that moment in Die Hard 1 where he's in the bathroom and his feet are cut and he's like, you know, I'm gonna die, and he's talking to Al Powell on the walkie-talkie. Gone.
None of that.
Not here.
Unfortunately, it kind of fell short.
Did it die hard?
What? Это Москва! Не будет станция! Да! Do you think I understand a word you're saying?
You know, it's the weakest of the five pictures. I can say that right off the bat. A lot of that has to do with the writing. And in a way, it's sort of a streamlined version of the fourth film. It's only 97 minutes, and it's just a lot of slam-bang action from beginning to end. It's not very well written, but I was still entertained. I had a good time.
I think that if it's not part of the franchise, then you don't put the Die Hard name or the stars in it. You go off and make your own film.
Right.
That's the benefit of being part of a franchise, is that you get to reap the riches and the loyalty from the fans for the last 25 years, and it did not live up to what came before it. The writing was largely sophomoric, and it was devoid of all of the humor, the wit, the charm, the irony that we found in the earlier iterations of this franchise. And so as a result, all we're left with, you say slam bang action, I say just terse narrative drive, which, by the way, somehow they didn't find room for a second act. It's missing a second act, which would have provided us with the level of development needed for us to buy into this family melodrama.
You remember the last time we talked just before you went away? Ah, no! No, you're not gonna open up to me right before we die!
It was written by Skip Woods, and it just wasn't very exciting. The jokes, they just fell short. And this movie, like you said, Bruce Willis is like a fish out of water, which is when John MacLean is at his best. You know, he's out of water with technology, and I feel like that was missing in this film.
The interesting thing about 4 is that you have this buddy pairing that's happening in 4, and there is plenty of time for those characters to get to know each other and for there to be an exchange of knowledge where each of them impacts the other's lives. I mean, that's what happens in the genre. You don't get any of that in this one. It's kind of like, oh, hi, my son does this. Oh, hi, this is what the situation is, and let's just go get it.
John MacLean is going to Russia because he thinks his son has committed a crime, and very early on in the film, he discovers his son is actually a spy. And there's really no change in John MacLean's attitude toward his son at all. It's like, he was a criminal, he's a spy, I'm gonna treat him exactly the same. I'm kind of wondering, what's going on there? A lot of these one-liners and a lot of the great lines are missing from this character that make John MacLean such an indelible figure in the action genre.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Bruce Willis, however, fits into these shoes pretty nicely. I think he just slips right back into the role. It's not as interesting, maybe, as it could have been.
It felt like they were really trying as hard as possible to capture the comedy, to capture the aesthetic of the other movies without actually having it written into it.
He doesn't really emote very well as John MacLean.
Jay Courtney plays his son, Jack.
Jay Courtney plays his son, Jack. Thank you very much for that. And he's cute, and he seemed appropriately appalled that, you know, his father would show up in Russia. Dad, or excuse me, John.
Yeah, I liked him. He has the physicality. Their chemistry wasn't amazing, but I thought that was the problem with the writing.
I thought Jay Courtney was fine. I'm a little afraid that they're sort of doing the Shia LaBeouf thing in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where they're saying, well, Bruce Willis is getting older, he can't be in all these movies, so we're gonna bring in some fresh blood, and then we can spin the franchise off into something else.
What is this, a pirate gun?
It's old school. Like you, right?
Right.
Let's talk about the directing a little bit. John Moore.
John Moore directed Flight of the Phoenix, the remake, The Omen remake, Max Payne most recently. I was a little worried considering that track record.
And you should still be worried.
I'm still a little bit worried, but there are some things he does. There's some quick zooms in here. There's very claustrophobic close-ups that at first I was like,
what's going on?
What is going on here? As the movie progressed, I kind of got used to it, and I just sort of settled into the fact that this is the kind of picture I'm getting, and for what the picture was, I had fun. It was a good time.
The tone was just off. He didn't know what to do with those really intense close-ups that, you know, that's normally where we feel an emotional connection to characters. It's not happening.
I love action scenes, but when we have stuff that is not grounded, where the suspension of disbelief just completely takes me out of the movie, I feel like that's why Die Hard worked, is that it had crazy things happening, but you could believe it possibly happening. This movie has absolutely none of that.
Oh, come on, you didn't buy that car chase? I loved that opening car chase sequence. It was just so over the top. But that's the last time I remember having fun in the movie. I'm not looking for a whole lot of depth here. It's the 5th Die Hard. But I need to have fun in the movie, right?
The action was great from time to time, but because of the massive suspensions of disbelief and the poor writing, it sullies an otherwise enthralling experience. Stream it.
Die Hard loyalists are going to see the 5th installment anyway. But they've been around for 25 years and they deserve better than this. Skip it.
It's below average for a Die Hard picture, but it's above average for a typical action picture, especially one in February. I think people will have a good day with this Die Hard. See it.
All right, our votes add up to 1.5 tickets, which is a stream it for A Good Day to Die Hard.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Is it true in Germany this franchise is called The Hard?
I think so.